Puzzle games. There are a plethora of puzzle games today. You got simple puzzle games, hard puzzle games, big, tall, small puzzle games. There's even puzzle games. I love puzzle games. But my favorite puzzle games are the ones that are unique. The ones that are charming. And most of all, the ones that make you rewire your brain in order to comprehend the reality of the game's world. Thinking with portals. Rotating the world for a new perspective. Rewriting the code of the game itself using simple statements. The Pedestrian is a game like this. The Pedestrian is a 2D and 3D puzzle platformer developed and published by Can I say this? Skookum Arts? Is that how you say it? I don't know. It sounds weird to me. I'm getting slur vibes from it. Anyway, they made a really good game. It's a game where you play as a sign person. Yeah, you know. Like the restroom guy or the one with the broken butt. You can play as the one in the dress too. The gameplay consists of connecting the entrances and exits of different signs to get your little stick person to progress. The game takes you all across the city from subways to skyscrapers and looks beautiful the whole time. It's honestly amazing how much effort was put into the visuals when the primary focus of the game is a 2D platformer with a stick person. Right from the get-go, this game means serious business. It introduces the mechanics at a more than reasonable pace. It never becomes redundant. What I mean by this is as early as the tutorial, the game forces you to understand how to utilize a single mechanic in every possible way, and it never repeats itself. Once you finish a puzzle, the game assumes you completely understand what you just did and will not attempt to reinforce it. It only builds on your knowledge. I was surprised and a little intimidated by the tutorial of this game. When I was about 2/3 of the way through it, I became concerned by how difficult the game could be and that I may not be able to beat it. I beat it. Don't worry. There is a point where the base mechanics become second nature. And it needs to be said that this is one of the best tutorials I've ever seen. All the information you need to know is presented in the environment itself. It is so well implemented, I didn't even notice that I was passively learning through it. It's exactly what you want from a video game tutorial. And this game does hurt your head a little. The puzzles can get pretty difficult. I played it all through in one session, so that may have something to do with it, but even so, that level of challenge is quite rare in puzzle games. I thought it was easy. I beat it in 6 minutes. Okay, dude. Cool. You make a video on it. Every new area you explore provides a new mechanic to add into the mix. Some are pretty straightforward, others are not. There were some mechanics in the late game that blasted my pants off. They're so unique. I didn't expect it at all. And as I mentioned before, the game essentially makes you master a mechanic in isolation before slapping your ass and tossing you out the door. So you can imagine how wacky it can get once they're all mashed together. Once you start dealing with 3 or 4 of the area mechanics simultaneously, the mind fuckery begins. Your brain turns to jelly, but a good jelly. Not like a cheap-ass squeeze tube Smuckers, but some fancy French shit. You know this stuff. It's like as expensive as a week's worth of groceries, but you don't know what else to get your gram for Christmas, so you decide to pick this stuff up, not knowing how much it costs, but it's Christmas Eve, nowhere else is open, and this stuff has a pattern similar to a tablecloth you've seen at your Gram's house. So you figured she'd be into it, and you get kind of peeved at the checkout that you're paying double for the groceries this week, but you don't want to make a scene or call someone over because the cashier is super cute and you don't want to embarrass yourself, so you suck it up. And hey, your Gram loves it. She wants to try it with you, so she makes some toast. It's some nice ass bread too, like a sourdough baguette. You chomp down on that shit and realize the price was worth it. Not just because it's some damn good jam, but because you got to enjoy this experience with someone you love. What the fuck was I talking about? Right, it's super satisfying to solve one of those jammy puzzles that took you forever to complete. With how simple the individual mechanics are, there is a lot of potential for extra content or even community content. I would love to see mods that add a bunch more levels. The final mechanic introduced could have an entire expansion made from it. There are so many possibilities from the framework that Skookum has set up here. The art and the environment look great in this game, way more than they need to. But it does make sense, since your character is supposed to exist on street signs in a normal world. The music is really fun too. Overall, an extremely enjoyable experience. There's a special place in my heart for puzzle games. I love being given information and having to use logic and reasoning to piece it all together. Unfortunately, most puzzle games I play don't seem to be able to scratch that itch. Either the logic doesn't check out, or the puzzle's difficulty comes from obscurity, as in not all the pieces are present and you're not informed of this. The Pedestrian actively avoids this. It makes sure to present all the information necessary to solve each puzzle, and it's all in plain sight. The Pedestrian is the best puzzle game I've played since The Witness, and that should be reason enough to check it out. Also play Toem. Peace.